You fondle it with your tongue.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's more about enthusiasm than technique. Welcome to the Up and Nerd Podcast. I'm your main host, Kyle, along with my cinema co-host, Greg
I
and
wasn't
Dan.
even ready.
Me neither.
Exactly.
We weren't ready.
Catching-
But hello.
Catching you guys off guard.
Hello.
So,
Will you paint the Mona Lisa with your tongue?
yeah, kind of. a third grader's rendition. So, news-wise, I shared the Leslie Jones thing about her still complaining about everyone bashing Ghostbusters 2016. And
I think she doesn't have jobs right now, and she just got bored. And
I
then
mean, she's on SNL. She's pretty funny.
is she still on that show?
Yeah,
she's
she's
still
actually
on it.
pretty funny. I think
I
she's
don't-
hilarious.
I don't watch SNL.
Well, I don't watch it either. I think it's dumb now than compared to when it was when I was a kid.
she has moments where it's really funny, but it's also then she has moments. Really
I think
bad.
she's hilarious. I think she's
Yeah.
actually. Like, if you watch her on she's always on $100,000 Pyramid,
Yeah.
and she's fucking hilarious.
Well,
Yeah.
I like her too on SNL too. It's just the complaints are
Yeah.
just like
but
her.
they it's like they take their rounds though, because like Melissa McCarthy bitched about it for a long time right after the movie, saying that everybody.
Well,
and then it's like they all take their rounds.
Leslie
and
Jones's
taking
complaint
shots.
is
Yeah.
valid, I guess. But the thing is,
Well, her original complaints were she got hardly anything paid.
She got
anything.
1%. She got 1%.
yeah.
of
But the
pay that
reason why the
Melissa
movie was
But
made was
Melissa McCarthy was a bigger name.
Yeah.
she's a way bigger name than her,
Right.
Yeah.
as far as movies especially.
But now this one, just like she was sitting there saying, all the people who like this were like nerds sitting in their basement who were saying 2016 sucked. Like she was going on some wild shit.
I think they all said that though.
It's not really. Look, everybody who's involved in that 2016 movie were out of touch and didn't understand why Ghostbusters was popular in the first place, and they didn't understand what made it good either. Apparently, they decided to just go make it super long-winded.
I didn't think it was like a dumpster fire, but I also didn't think it was
Good.
right.
Well, like I told Kyle before, there was a YouTube video I saw where they explained how the old movie did things better than the new one.
Yeah.
Because you know how they explained how the proton packs work.
Mm.
In the second movie, they had this long-winded scientific explanation about how she invented it and all this other stuff.
Right.
And in the first one, it was they went to the elevator. They go, "Could you please turn my proton pack on?" And then they back away. That tells you that it's dangerous.
Yeah,
Right.
because he's like, it could
That is,
explode.
it goes. Can you help turn on my unlicensed nuclear accelerator?
Right. Yeah.
So they
It was
explained
it was subtle.
They explained it within like 2 to 5 minutes, where it took them like 10, 20 minutes. to do it,
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And plus, to me, there's a lot of goofiness that was
Yeah,
extraneous
I
from
mean,
the storyline.
They're so in the original Ghostbusters, they're goofy, but they're like
It's in service of the
yeah,
story.
right.
Yeah.
Like,
it was
if-
all in service to their
What
characters.
I'm thinking of is the beginning. When what's Bill Murray's character's name? I forget. Stupid. name.
Oh my God, Peter Venkman.
Anyway, he was talking to the girl and the guy
He
and
did
doing
the
the
cards,
psychic
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It tells him that he's a player.
Yeah.
That doesn't take anything seriously.
Right.
He's only out for himself, basically.
Right.
That tells you all he needs to know.
And to get
it's,
women
and it's still goofy.
Yeah. And it was like I said, the key word there is subtle. They didn't need to like, here's the joke. It was just, he was clearly trying to hype her up so he can get action. So she was always right, he was always wrong. But then you find out the guy has psychic talents because he got shocked enough times he started getting them right, but he's still saying he got them wrong. And that was the joke of where Peter Venkman's in it for himself, because he started to discover that the stress was causing his psychic abilities to come out. Because the last card he got right.
Yeah, this long-winded explanation here is the exact reason why the second movie didn't work very well.
Yeah, well, suck a dick. I'm about to spray you in the face with Febreze.
I don't really remember the second. The second movie is
Well, sorry.
The second movie-
I
reboot-
honestly,
the
to be
reboot.
honest, I didn't watch half of it either. Like, I got through the beginning part when they get the like Ghostbuster mobile thing or whatever, but I don't really.
which one are we talking about now?
Oh,
The second, the
Afterlife?
remake,
Afterlife?
the remake,
the
2016 remake with the
Oh,
girl.
the women's
Yeah,
one.
he,
The women's one,
he mistakenly said it was the second one. Because sometimes
Yeah, that's why I got
It
confused.
is
Yeah.
the second one chronologically. Well, third one.
Yeah, third.
But yeah, I was gonna say it'd be the
I
third.
should have said third one chronologically.
Yeah, it's fine. It happens.
Chronologically, it doesn't matter. Get rid of that fucking thing.
Yeah.
And it goes 1, 2, and then
Afterlife.
Afterlife.
So, quick side note, something that was funny. You know how you said I watched about half of it?
Mm-hmm.
I was going through some of the old episodes while I was editing. That is a frequent line from you. Well, I watched about half of it.
I get bored of
I know.
most movies now.
I know, but it was just
I've
really
seen
funny.
literally thousands of movies.
Yeah, but it was just
So
really
it's
funny.
kind of
'cause
one of
it's
those
like,
things where
Greg's is da-da-da-da-da. Yours is like, I watched about half of it.
another thing I say is when I'm explaining something to somebody is look. This is how it works.
Yes. So, yeah.
But-
I just, like I said, if she's going to insult everybody about the movie, then she can't sit there and play victim. You know what I mean? You can't sit
I
there
don't
and...
think she's playing a victim.
She's bitching because
She's
she didn't
bitching.
get enough money.
She's not playing a victim. She's just bitching.
And she doesn't understand nerds, even though she's technically a comedy nerd if you want to get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you... I don't know.
And freaking she's pissed she didn't get money.
I don't know. For me, it just seemed like she was like she's bashing and then trying to get like sympathy over her movie.
You
like-
do realize
like,
this is Hollywood, man.
That's true.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Take whatever
Well,
these people.
you do remember that when it first bombed, they were saying it was because it was an all-women's cast. And it's really not true. It just didn't hit the same way that...
They took.
It didn't hit the same way, and also the structure of the movie wasn't correct.
There's no reason. Okay, number one, it was unnecessary. It was an unnecessary reboot. You didn't need it.
Well,
Because even if you
why
had-
reboot it? Why reboot it?
Right.
Like Afterlife was great because it continued the story.
It was a reboot / continuance.
Right. It continued the story.
Yeah.
Because you didn't need the same characters, basically, but in female form, with the
Right.
same props and the same car
Right.
and the same firehouse.
Yeah, you didn't
and
need
the same everything,
You
except
didn't need to reboot it.
And then now there's a bunch of shoehorned jokes in to try to.
and goofy slapstick stuff.
Like if
Yeah.
they would have made it where Melissa McCarthy was Egon's granddaughter, and continued the story, it'd probably been a better
Yeah,
Yeah.
hit. But instead they tried to reboot the whole.
Egon's daughter would have been better.
Oh yeah, that would have been work too. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
But they tried.
And
to force,
they tried to force it down your throat with a brand new
like
reboot.
girl power.
Yeah, right.
Which is just like they're trying to do with Star Wars and everything else, and we keep circling back to this, but it's just not a good way to tell any story. So I thought that was interesting. The other one that I was talking to you both about, I talked to you separately because I was too lazy to text at this time, was the whole.
By the way, you can't just. I have your number now, but you can't just throw me in a group text with some number I don't know.
Don't worry, he said
and,
the same
and,
thing.
and be like, "This is the group," and I'm like, "What group? What are you
starting a cult
talking
now.
about?"
There's a cult now.
I figured it was you, and I guessed.
I mean, I did too, but at the same
It
time,
took a while, but
at the same time, I was
Listen.
like,
Listen, I know you're jealous of my managerial skills in this whole thing, this operation.
and then finally you said something, and I was like, "Oh, okay, context. There it is. It's Dan."
There you go. It's not my fault you're behind the times and stupid. So, Snow White and the 7 diversity hires.
well, because the thing is, you started out was so we created this talk so you could have one group says saying 2 messages. Okay, so what are you saying, Kyle? You didn't say anything. You
Yeah.
just said a message. I'm gonna
Alright.
send you 2 messages, and
The
then you don't
show-
send tell us
the
what the
show
message
is
is.
not about my terrible
I
typing.
think I put down like, okay.
It's right here. Okay, and I go, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we're not on this show to talk about how crappy my typing skills
I
are.
was like, what?
But so I was doing research on Snow White and 7 diversity hires,
What,
and
what Dirty Snow White?
yes,
Dirty Snow White.
Dirty Snow White and the 7 diversity hires?
Dirty Snow
so
White.
She's not white.
yeah, she's
Not like white.
she's Latina.
Not white as snow.
So, through all the interviews and stuff, I finally put a timeline together. I think I talked to you both about it. I wasn't sure if I. So the timeline looks exactly like this, and we can't say 100% that's fact because we weren't in the rooms.
You're just taking a guess.
Number one,
Well,
you are really into the whole freaking what's his name angle.
Peter Dinklage?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care about Peter Dinklage right now.
Well,
It's over.
It's over.
Tyrion is over. What has he been in since then?
Really, it's real.
Nothing?
Marvel stuff.
Since what? What are we
He's all
talking
over
about?
Trask and Marvel stuff. Peter, since
Oh, he was the dwarf in
I
freaking
never watched an
Infinity
episode.
War,
Oh yeah, he was also
who had
that
his
too.
hands cut off.
I never watched an episode of it. Game
Yeah.
of Thrones.
Yeah. So the timeline like this, because the stuff that is proven is at one point he did audition for one of the dwarf roles.
Yeah, we've had this chat.
That was confirmed. He didn't get the role, which is also confirmed. They said about getting lesser known actors. Like that was the reason why they didn't put him on there. And also probably, like you said, to save a shit ton of money.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
he's worth a shit ton.
Yeah, he's probably gonna want way more. He's probably gonna make more than the damn
Yeah.
main character.
Yeah, I was gonna say, number one, he would make more money, and he's way more recognizable than she is.
Right.
So
you can't have that. You can't.
So then, about a couple months after they kind of didn't give him the role, he had an interview with like TMZ and all them, and said about
you can't trust anything TMZ says.
no, but I'm saying, but this was he quoted it and he stuck by it. Like he stuck by what he said. He quoted that he was very happy that they got Rachel Ziegler
Mhm.
as it was a great cast choice for Snow White. Then he quickly turned into that he was appalled that they were still calling it the dwarves and going
Because
that.
that's what the story is.
Yeah, exactly. And so he was complaining about that they were going to use dwarves and all this other stuff.
And then other dwarf actors who aren't as well known as him got pissed off because they
Because
wanted
he ruined.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he ruined the roles.
He ruined
Yeah,
the roles. Right.
Instead of because he's not getting to know everybody.
He
else.
was a scolded little bitch and ruined it for
Yeah.
everybody. Is what it was.
That's exactly what it looks like. And then on top of it, Disney replied to that and said, "Oh, well, we took a lot of input from the LP community,
Little people.
little people community." And
I'm sure if you looked at them and said $1 million for this role, they'd have been like,
yes,
sign me up.
Any actor,
sign
Like,
me up.
Yeah, right. So I think their idea of talking to the little people community was talking to Peter Dinklage only, and then just saying the community. Because I know Brad Williams, the comedian, he'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Right, that's what
Wee
I mean.
Man would be like, yeah, sure.
He would have
whatever.
been way better than freaking Dinklage anyway.
Yeah.
Because Dinklage is more or less a serious actor.
They're literally cutting out roles that would have been breaks for some people.
all in fear of someone complaining,
Right.
and also Peter Dinklage being a dick about it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like him in some things. Like the remake of Death at a Funeral was hilarious.
Playing the gay lover.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
But he's good in certain things. But like,
yeah, but
chill out, dude. You just didn't get the part.
Yeah, right. But here's the thing: if he's speaking against them, you know how Disney and Marvel do. They're just gonna slowly blacklist him because he was supposed to be in Thor: Love and Thunder. That didn't happen. He was supposed to be in something else with Marvel. That didn't happen.
Well, he was already in the Thors.
Well, he was in Infinity War.
Right.
Well,
For like a 5
He was
minute-
the weapon maker.
Yeah, for like what, 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
But he was supposed to be in Thor: Love and Thunder to be a continuance.
who gives a shit about this? I don't understand.
Because it's news. It's cinema news.
It's not even news because it's not about the production itself anyway. They went a different direction because of it, but we're done with
What
it.
did they go to?
It's 7 diversity hires, like we said.
Yeah.
It's like 7 magical creatures, quote unquote. So it could be freaking anything. We have no idea.
So dumb.
And she looks nothing like Snow White, so whatever, it's fine.
Did you? I should show you pictures of the finalized costumes. It looks.
I've seen the cast pictures.
It looks like somebody went to Halloween City and bought the costumes. It's bad. So they're also moving it straight to stream. They're gonna forego theaters.
Yeah, because they know it's gonna bomb.
Yeah.
They don't want to waste the money.
And that's because
It's getting bad reviews, and it's going to be 6 months before it comes out.
yeah. Right.
So whatever.
Yeah. So,
The entire half the internet's against it. The other half, 75% of the internet against it. The other 25% are like, we're gonna watch it because we want to be allies or whatever.
You really can't go off that anyways, though, because The Little Mermaid had such bad feedback because The Little Mermaid was black,
yeah.
and it killed it. It killed it in box office.
It killed, but it still lost money overall because Disney put a lot of money. It made it to make the movie back, but they didn't make the money back on all their advertising and production. Some of their extra.
And also Disney stuff lately has been bombing in like China.
Yeah.
So
Well,
And that whole fight, and that's also.
they pretty much told China to go fuck off.
Yep.
Which they should.
Yeah, like
They should. I'm sorry, it's an American-made movie. We're not.
like there for a while.
Do you think if China was making movies, we were like, you can't do it that way, or we won't show it here? Do you think they'd give two shits? No, they wouldn't.
No.
They wouldn't. Why do we give two shits about it?
Because they want their money.
It's the most retarded thing in the world.
And there
to me.
for a while they were pandering it to, but now they're just like, no, because it's costing more money to do all the fixes and stuff to.
Pander to him, yeah.
Yeah, pander to 'em. Like you know what they did with Black Panther, right?
Yeah, they took down like. Well, that's like
He's not in the movie unless he's already fully covered.
He's got
They
the
won't-
yeah. They won't show him because
They won't show Chadwick Boseman because he's black.
because he's black. It's weird.
what about all the other black people?
You mean the Falcon?
No, in the Black Panther movie.
Oh no,
They don't show him. They literally don't show him.
They just never did the Black Panther.
They
movie
cut
in
cut
China.
him out.
No,
Yeah.
that's not what you said. The Black Panther movie.
Sorry, the Black Panther. I'm talking about.
You got to use words that mean
is-
words.
Dan, you're about to get pile drived.
Why? Because I point out your
Yes.
inaccuracies.
Yes.
You were talking about the Black Panther movie, I thought, but no, you're talking about the Avengers, which is
Yes,
what you
the
should have
Avengers.
said, which you didn't
I'm
say.
about to whip you in the face.
Just like your group texting skills need work.
It's work in progress. Okay, putting all the effort into this.
Ah,
So
I don't give you any slack, and you don't give me any, so whatever, it's fine.
So yeah, so Greg's right. We gotta stop pandering because it's costing more.
Too bad they have. Wow, she is not white at all. Just look at her.
Yeah, Snow Brown.
She's a really good tan.
Yeah,
That's a really good tan. I said it.
it's really cool.
Just look at it.
I don't. Let me see.
She's really dark. Not like super, super dark, but
Yeah.
twice as dark as she should be.
Oh my god. So yeah, that's gonna be a bomb. So what? Me and Greg. Moving on to what we've watched. Me and Greg finished Castle Rock.
I'm gonna let Greg follow up on this because
Garbage.
He was so enraged with
Trash.
the ending.
It's trash.
what happened at the end that so enraged you?
So I did. See, I don't know. I don't really know what you're really into. Did you ever watch? The only thing I can compare it to. So it's a really good show.
It's basically all the Stephen King stuff.
It's a
right?
really good show.
Uh-huh.
And then the ending is just he just fucking ruins the ending. And the ending is just fucking trash.
It just goes
Yeah.
the total opposite way the
Yeah.
show's been
Yeah.
going.
That it
basically.
should have been.
Yeah,
It-
right.
It goes the total opposite way of what should have happened.
She's trying to be avant-garde or some
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
did you ever watch Dexter? The only thing,
Yeah, I
the
watched- I
only
watched-
ending I can compare it to is Dexter.
I've seen Dexter.
So, do you know how in the original Dexter series how it ends? How it's like some garbage ass ending where he like fakes his own death and.
I vaguely remember that. It's been a long time.
So, you find out that Skarsgård's character isn't actually bad. He's not actually bad. He and what's the black guy's name? Character. They're the same name,
Yeah.
but I don't know his actual.
I just completely forgot.
Anyways, they're the same person from different universes.
That's
So
the big
what
twist.
happens is they got flipped. So they're in the wrong universes. So because they're in the wrong universes, they're causing
That's not even a twist. That's like totally changing.
chaos in the opposite.
So
Yeah,
let
as
me
long-
get this straight. They never tell you that though through the whole thing.
You
episode 7.
you find out, and after like
Like the end.
last 3.
the last 3 episodes you find out. So like 2 episodes before it ends, you find out, and you're like, oh, all right, they're gonna figure out a way to get back home or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're gonna fix the timelines, and they're gonna quit causing chaos.
Mhm.
Well, Skarsgård character figures it the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like trying to get back home, and he's trying to figure it out. He's trying to get back. The black guy, for some reason, doesn't accept it and locks him up. That's how it ends.
And keeps
Locks
him
him
in the
up in the cage and keeps him in the universe. That's how it ends.
Goes right back to stats quo for no
Yeah,
reason.
just goes right back to the beginning.
Because the whole thing was throughout the whole thing he kept come up with the context of his dad was kind of crazy, but his dad had a point with like hearing the things, like he could hear the shit in the universe. And it was just showing like, yeah, his dad wasn't the greatest person, and he was wrong about some of the stuff, and this guy isn't the devil, but for some reason the black guy's like, nope, he's the devil, gotta lock him up.
Right.
Like weirdly.
So Skarsgård's character figures it out. It's like, hey, we need to get back home. We need to go back to where we kind of transport. Yeah, right. We need to like get this figured out. And he was like, nope, gonna lock you up in the basement.
That's literally
how it ends. That's how it ends.
Literally.
That's like,
It's bad enough that they decided to do the like universe switching thing. That's bad enough. That's really bad. Because that's like a trope that's been used way too much lately.
Yeah.
Like the multiverse stuff. And in comic books, they've been doing that a lot. Where they have different version characters flipping around and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would you do that in this? I don't get it.
But like, that's how it ends. I was so pissed off. Like,
he's starting.
I was like, there's a season 2. I go, fuck season 2.
Kyle was talking about this for the last 2 weeks.
It's horrible.
I was so
it's a trash ending.
Because Greg was so full of rage at the end of
It's a trash ending. Horrible.
Yeah.
Whoever wrote that, put it. Stephen King? Is that Stephen King?
Well, it's all his characters. He didn't write it.
Yeah,
he didn't write the show, right?
No. It's
Whoever wrote that show and looked at the end and went, yeah, that looks right. Should have been fucking slapped and fired.
Yeah. Now, I would get more of it if, like, because Bill Skarsgård's character was still there and he started doing, like forcing all the evil shit to happen. Like, trying to be a means to ends, like, keep causing shit to happen because he wants to go back. Like a villain does, you know, like, fucks with the hero so he does what the hero does what he wants him to do. But no, that wasn't it. It was he was just like, I'm stuck here.
He's just causing
stuff. He's like, I saved you when you were a little kid.
Yeah, right. He's just causing stuff because he's stuck there.
Yeah.
He's not a bad person. Neither one of them are a bad person.
Well,
it's just he's in the wrong universe.
Black Eye is at the end.
Well, yeah, at the end he turns into one, but it's the most retarded ending. Other than Dexter was a retarded. I put it up there with Dexter. It's the most retarded ending.
Yeah. I'll have to cut that little part.
I haven't watched the new one.
Oh, I have.
The new Dexter.
Nope,
but...
not bothering.
There's a new one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
Don't know.
Apparently everyone cried and bitched about the ending of the original, so they wanted to kind of correct their wrong. But then I heard the ending of that one's just as shitty as the first one's.
What should have the ending been?
So
he gets caught, maybe?
No. So at the end of Dexter, the end of the series of Dexter, in like season 6, whatever the last season is, he's starting to get to the point where he doesn't have the urge to kill anymore. He's dating that woman who kind of gets him because she used to be a serial killer too. So like, he doesn't have the urge to kill anymore. He's trying to get out. He's trying to run away with her and have a life with his son and everything. Well, this one last serial killer like kills his sister, so he wants vengeance, and he eventually kills the serial killer.
After they tried to figure out if his son was also a serial killer. And...
Well, his son was a baby.
No, there's one where his son's older.
Yeah, that's the new one.
Oh, I've heard me and Cheetah watched that like last year.
Oh, that's the new one.
Okay, well that was okay.
So
we watched it last year. So
yeah, so instead of him just going, all right, I killed the serial killer that killed my sister, I can go and have my happy life. Mm-hmm. He decides to take his sister out of the morgue for some reason and take her body out to the middle of the ocean where when he first started killing people, he would dump their bodies. So he throws her in a body bag and dumps her in the ocean with the bodies of the people he killed before, and then fakes his own death and goes somewhere to Alaska to live on his own.
Yep. And then that season.
That's the end of
Why couldn't he just do a Hannibal Lecter thing?
Just go MIA.
Yeah. Just go to Europe with your girlfriend and have your life.
Just change your goddamn name.
Right.
Just go to Europe and have your life that you were going to have.
So
what the fuck was the point of doing all the bullshit and then to just go live by yourself in the wilderness anyway?
Oh, well, that doesn't last because I'll fill you in on this one. So they get to the point where his son's like teenager, like.
But he still went and lived for how long?
I know. So when they're in Alaska, he starts his life over. Like he meets a new girl, and his son starts dating girls, and then his son starts like talking about how he's got these weird urges, like not sex or anything, but just like. So he figures out his son is also psychopathic and gonna kill people too. So he starts trying to kind of teach his son to how to do it the right way. And I was like, this is getting dumb. I was like, cool. Like, I'm glad you're teaching your son the rules to things, but
So he just pretty much rehashes and teaches him the rules that his dad taught him.
yes,
Because if you remember in the original, his dad was a
it was
cop.
always kind of
His
going
dad
back.
was a cop and knew that he was a serial
He was
killer.
going to be a serial killer.
So he tried to tell him to kill
Guide the missile instead
certain
of let it
people.
run. Yeah.
Right.
So that's what it goes into, and then there's some guy seeking revenge on
Dexter.
Dexter because
Yeah.
he killed like his brother or son who was a serial killer, and it's really overly convoluted. It's just really not good.
Yeah. I heard it wasn't. Someone told me not to watch it.
Yeah, don't. So,
But the original one was a great series all the way up until the last fucking season was trash.
yeah.
And that's how they
I
ended
know
it.
a friend of mine loves that damn show.
Listen, the first 5
Until the end, probably.
Yeah, the first 5 seasons are great, and even the 6th season is really good until like the middle to 3/4 of the way, and you're like, where are they going with this? And then all of a sudden, they're like,
So he has like a weird. He's a serial killer who has a psychotic break and decides to steal his sister's corpse and throw it into the ocean.
yeah, pretty much.
What the fuck would you do that for?
So stupid. I don't know.
all-
Doesn't he even
Listen,
like his sister?
Yeah.
Then why would he do it?
Yeah.
Because
And then
whoever wrote it
Yeah.
was dumb.
Listen, this is that one point.
Why would he associate his sister with all the victims of the people
Well,
he
yeah,
killed?
he kills bad people.
So
Like,
he thinks
kills
his sister
murderers.
is evil for some
I
reason?
don't
Right?
know. I have no
I don't know.
idea
I
what
don't-
made him bury her in the fucking ocean with his victims.
But I already knew that was the answer because I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
No. So, and also that took a really weird turn when she's like, "I think I'm in love with my
Oh
brother."
yeah, that's when it started
Because
getting
he's
really
adopted.
weird.
I mean, he is adopted, but
yeah,
still,
but still.
they grew up way too long. She's
Right.
like, "I think I'm into him," and then I know he's still a serial killer.
It was
That
very
just gets
weird.
me,
Yeah.
it gets me going.
It was very weird.
Gets swampland
It was a-
nice and wet.
It was a very, it was a very odd season.
Yeah. Oh, and that serial killer was the dad from what show? Third Rock from the Sun. He was the wasn't that the serial killer for that one? Like the penalty.
Which
he
one?
was one of them. He
Which
was
one?
of them.
Yeah.
Which
The
one?
dad. The I can't think of the actor's name.
Third Rock from the Sun.
The guy with the white hair.
Yeah.
The tall guy.
Oh, hold on.
I
I'll tell
don't
you.
know.
I'll tell you his name here in a second. It's right on the tip of my
He was
tongue.
like the penultimate serial killer for that season. There was like one other guy above him. It was weird. I was like, there's a lot of serial killers that are based.
John Lithgow.
Yeah, John Lithgow.
No.
He was one of the serial killers, and that arc was really good. That was a really good
'cause
arc.
It was like it was a nice complete story.
Yeah, that was a really good arc. So each season is he chases one specific serial killer. Like he's trying to get one specific person.
Yeah.
And John Lithgow.
Well,
was like
that was a
season
later
3.
season. The first season, he was just killing whoever he knew was a serial killer. Like,
No, the
he
first
went through
season.
a couple. of
No,
them.
the first season. Well, he kills a few people in each season, but he's actually after one specific
Okay.
person. Like the first season is his brother.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. It's been a long time. So you're not watching Dexter. You're not watching.
No, I have. I mean, it's been over.
so,
it's been a while, and
yeah.
I still haven't watched
Kind of
it.
like how we went from Castle Rock sucking to and to Dexter sucking.
Well, because it's to
Yeah, I
me,
know.
it's the same kind of thing.
No
Really
problem.
good shows that brought you up, and then all of a sudden at the end they're just like, we're gonna
They fall
fucking
right-
throw it in the dumpster.
Well, I mean, Blacklist had the same thing.
Blacklist sucked after like the second season.
I was gonna
though.
say I didn't watch Blacklist after like season 2.
I think
Because
So listen, I don't even know. Is he her dad? Does he ever
They
ever
never-
tell you?
That's the problem I had with it.
they
My
never
first
confirmed.
problem with it was she was the best character in the first 2 seasons, and all of a sudden they drop her off the face
They
of the
kill her,
fucking
right? I heard she dies.
Okay, so
They have like a big drama with this one guy she fell in love with, who's just like a CIA mold guy or assassin or whatever. And then then I gave up after that. I'm like, fuck it. Is she with the freaking Blacklist guy, or is she part of the FBI now? Which one is it? They kept switching back and forth.
yeah. So season 1.
I'm with you. I quit watching after like season 2.
Because like I don't like whoever the fuck the guy is who plays the Blacklist dude. I don't like him anyway. He's a smarmy dick, and I don't understand why they would listen to him. Just you know what the real government would do? It's like the Joker thing. You know how they say, how is the Joker still alive in Batman?
Yeah,
stuff?
right.
The government would have executed him years ago.
Right. Yeah.
In this one, they would have just locked him up, shot him in the face, and buried him in the ocean.
Doesn't matter how many other criminals.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Unless there's a nuke involved, there's no reason for him to be around.
Right.
I mean,
And there's
there
nobody
was.
smart.
There was.
And there's nobody smart enough to run away from the U.S. government for that long.
Right.
Nobody. He doesn't have a couple $1 billion to waste.
Unless they
to
somehow
hide.
get asylum somewhere, that'd be the only way to do it.
So.
And he would never leave the country.
Yeah,
it's like
right.
Snowden.
Well, yeah, Snowden. Yeah.
Snowden's
I was
never
literally-
left
I was literally about
Moscow.
to say Snowden, but
So. I'll give you
he's
a quick-
fucked. He can't leave the country.
Right. So it was weird because the first couple seasons were like him doing his stuff, taking interest in her, possibly being her dad. Then it turns into she gets framed, and then him and her go on the run. And then you find out that the whole blacklist was created to protect her. And it gets really overconvoluted.
There's 10 seasons.
Yeah, I know.
There's 10 seasons.
She
of
dies
the
in
Blacklist.
season 7 or 8.
There's 10 of them.
I stopped after the first two.
Yeah, it gets really overly convoluted because
As soon as she went rogue, I was like, "What the fuck is this about?"
yeah,
'Cause it reminds-
it's really overly convoluted. But apparently her mom was a secret Russian sleeper agent, and he became the guy that did all that to protect her mom and to protect her. But secretly, it's not really him. It's not really her dad. He's a guy who decided to get plastic surgery to look exactly like her dad.
Why is that a necessary storyline?
It was really.
It kind of reminds me of this other show that
And then she became so unpopular as a character in this episode, like later seasons, when they go to finally, because he's like, "Hey, listen, you're gonna have to kill me. I'm leaving you all my money. I'm leaving you my criminal empire to find the rest of the blacklist and make the world a better place." She's like, "I can't kill you," and then all of a sudden she gets shot immediately, and then you find.
I don't know why. Okay, number one, he should be. I don't understand why. I guess it's mostly women watching this show who freaking are like, he's charming or whatever. He's a fucking douche. Why is he? I never liked him as a character anyway.
Is he charming or whatever?
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
The fedora alone makes him shootable. You know?
So,
Who wears a fedora but douchebags? Nobody. Everybody who wears a fedora is a douchebag now. Yeah, I remember that. Where you're the tipped out. What are you, Michael Jackson from Moonwalker?
Oh, I was really hoping you'd forget about that.
I didn't forget about
That's why he remembered it, because you made that look like. Remember this motherfucker.
I
it. As soon
remember
as you
that.
said it, I was like,
Yeah, I remember now.
So yeah,
Because
and then the later seasons are just really weird because they kept him around because he's the most popular character, and it's not good. I
thought she had a great story.
She did, but then after we got past season 3 at best, and that's stretching it.
Because it was like, it seemed to me that I watched parts of the other like episode here or there, and it seemed to me that it was like, this guy seems to be smarter than like the other 7 billion people on Earth all at once.
Right.
I'm like, how the hell is he still alive?
right.
There is like at least a freaking couple hundred people want him dead, but
Right.
he's still around.
So literally between seasons like 4 into like 8, it was a constant back and forth. She trusts him to where she doesn't trust him, where he lied to her, but he was telling the truth to protect her. He lied to her for a reason. And they kept going back and forth, the waxing and waning of her trusting him to her not trusting him, back and forth and back and forth.
Oh, I'm glad I quit watching that.
Oh, yeah, it got rough.
So it's more like a soap opera
It is, absolutely.
instead of like a
Well, just like-
espionage thriller.
Just like,
it should have been.
any of those shows, they keep it going on too long. Where they don't want to tell a story anymore, they just want to keep raking as many viewers' money as they can.
I can't remember him from anything. He was on The Office or whatever, wasn't
Yeah. He was. Yeah, he was. He was in like a weird.
he? He was in like a
He
few.
was-
He was like what's his name's boss. He was Steve Carell's actual boss for a while, and then before the woman took over.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. There's another-
He was kind of famous from like 80s movies originally.
Yeah. What the hell is his name? James Spader.
He's also known for taking a shit ton of drugs when he was younger.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which movie star isn't?
He wasn't really
At
a
least
movie.
ba- at
He
least
wasn't
back-
really a movie.
At least back from
Back then, he
back
was
from that day.
like pretty much his generation's Tom Sizemore up until like Blacklist came out.
yeah, he was also in.
Oh, by the way, Tom Sizemore died on a houseboat not too many years ago.
Yeah, he was also in.
No,
The Avengers. He
houseboat.
was in the Avengers. He was Ultron.
Yeah, fuck that.
Fuck that.
That's the shitty one.
Oh my god.
It wouldn't have. That's why. That's my favorite. How it should have ended. By the way, this have Magneto come in at the end, and he goes boom, and then he goes,
Kills all the
"Those
robots.
are my children."
And they're not whatevers. They're mutants. And just flies off. So that's like I'm trying to think of the one NCYS. I think it is
NCIS.
NCIS.
NCIS. with the-
NCYS.
There, there's so many of the shows.
I know I'm
like
just
that.
messing with you.
But it's the one with the like really good looking black guy. Like he had a full story arc.
Oh, you're talking about Criminal Minds.
Criminal Minds, yes, thank you. I knew it was one of them shows.
A really good looking black. Well,
Should've
Idris
said it.
Elba's in The Wire.
I know who he's talking about. I was
Yeah, Criminal Minds. They had a good line for the black guy. He ended it, but he was such a popular character that they brought him back for arbitrary.
Oh, he was the guy who's in SWAT, right?
Yeah.
The movie,
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
series,
Samar
or
Moore.
Yes.
yeah. What you know what Kyle does? He just looks in the mirror and goes, "I wish I was as good looking as he was with
Yeah.
a bald head."
Yeah.
Damn right I do. Because I'd have his money too.
Yeah, Criminal Minds. Elizabeth used to watch that.
He's not a bad actor,
No, he's
No,
really
he's
not.
pretty
He's
good.
actually
No,
good.
no,
he
he's
was
a
really
good
good in Criminal Minds, but
I think Criminal Minds is actually a pretty good show.
it's just going on too long.
Yeah, exactly. It
Aren't they rebooting it?
outran
Yes.
it outran its course.
No, they're rebooting it.
Are they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
again
You know.
with the same old ass people that should be. I thought were dead by now.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Just like Law and Order. Law and Order's still going strong. As long as they have Ice Cube.
And then
I mean,
there's.
sorry, Ice-T.
Although this guy's
Ice-T,
he's
yeah.
my favorite character because
He's the worst
he has
actor.
this. He's my favorite character in that show because he has the same haircut, even though he's like 16 years later.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? You're not 23-year-old, bud.
But I do like Tom Segura's impression of him for every episode of Law and Order. Because he always explains exactly what somebody says.
Who's that?
Ice-T's character.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like, oh, so this guy's a hemophilia.
He's a horror. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I would do a better job acting,
No.
but he's a horrible actor.
Yeah,
Like,
he just plays himself as a cop. If he's a cop. Like,
Look, to be honest, the only time it worked was the early days when he still was young enough to have street cred.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, in the first, like, three to four seasons, he sometimes came in with a do-rag on and all that shit.
Yeah.
But then later on, he started wearing, like, pimp suits, kind of.
Yeah,
Right.
he did.
It was like a
Oh, he
three-piece
still
suit.
does.
But he
He
explains.
he even had the purple one
Yeah.
for a while
It
there.
cracks me because he explains
But
everything.
nowadays, he just dresses like suburban stepdad.
Yeah.
right?
Even, well,
Like this
father,
guy,
I guess.
This guy's into erotic asphyxiation. So what you saying is, if you like choke and then whack off. And they're like, yeah, that's what we said. That's why we said it's into that. Or the one guy's like, he's
You know what? The only thing he does in most recent episodes is he's like the sounding board for Olivia, the main captain character, so that she can reminisce about the old days, and then he walks away, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
He doesn't do
Or-
any police work. I've never
or
seen him in.
explain something like, oh, so what you saying is he likes to kill people and eat the bodies, like, and then he just walks away. And then sometimes he'd be like, yes, oh wait, he does show up on like the arrest and goes, yeah, whatever, and pushes him in the
Well, number one. Well, lately, last couple years, it's been
Water
like
tea.
way too many. There's like been a shit ton of crossovers with the organized crime thing.
Yeah.
Because the main Elliot, the main character from the main
Yeah.
her partner from the early days,
He quit after.
he went to like Italy in like the backstory because he got other jobs as an actor.
Right.
And then he came back as organized crime, and they had their
Yeah.
own series.
He had that
And-
one. He had that one show that was like a. I heard the first season was good, and after that it was trash. Where he sees like the imaginary fucking.
Oh yeah, I remember that. But he basically came back as organized crime or whatever. And then they had crossovers with like a big epic thing, and then they had regular Law and Order coming back with the guy from Blackish as one of the attorneys or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like basically a bunch of trying to be a movie without being a movie. Kind of.
Yeah.
It's weird.
They're all knockoffs. Listen, I remember as a kid, I used to love the original CSI with Gil Grissom
Yeah.
and all that. I used to
Yeah, it was
I used to love that show. And then that one again ran its course.
CSI Miami is a dumpster fire,
And
which
that-
I don't understand why the hell. What? Because it's set in Miami.
Yeah.
David Caruso can't act.
So that one
It's like a piece of wood grew a mouth.
piece of wood.
He's Plank from
Ed,
Ed.
Because he says the same like hard-bitten noir thing, but it's like sunshine and bikinis. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
So
Because he's a redhead who can talk. Somehow this is a thing.
So CSI ran its course,
Yep.
and they knew when they ran their course. They ran their course, and they're like, "All right, we're done."
2008 maybe.
Yeah, right. So they ended it, and then all of a sudden, CSI New York, CSI Miami. I think there's another one. And I'm like, what the hell?
LA
Like,
or something like
New
that.
York was really bad
like
too.
the original CSI was the best one. They knew
But
they knew when it was time to call it quits.
Because it's money over integrity.
Because the problem with CSI was when it first came out, it was like kind of like no one saw something like that before.
Right.
Whereas later on, like all the other cop shows, including Law and Order and
Yeah.
SVU, started doing all the forensic stuff.
catching up to them.
Right.
Yeah, right.
So there's no real reason to have all scientific stuff because everybody's doing it.
Yeah, I remember CSI kind of was like, all right, we kind of ran our course.
That's why
Charmed went too long.
I don't know what the hell that is.
That
witches.
Yeah, it was early.
It's bullshit. I don't like it.
It was. It was an early 2000s
Number one,
woman show.
I never give a crap about Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Angel or any of that crap.
that's all.
That's
went
more-
too long.
I never got into that either.
Yeah.
That's more Kyle's thing. It was popular when Pokemon first came out, and he really is into it.
I like to see what the correlation is. Well,
Well, they do. They did start being popular around the same time Pokemon came
That's
out.
true.
The mid '90s.
You're right.
Because the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie came.
80s.
Was that '95? I thought.
The very first one?
Yeah.
It was like late 80s. Like,
Uh-huh.
was it? The
Oh,
very
it
first
was like
No.
early to mid '90s. Not the one with Sarah Michelle Gellar. She didn't have a movie. She just went to the series.
Yeah.
She was recast because somebody else played the movie. I forget who it was.
Oh my gosh.
Which that movie was freaking god awful.
92. Okay.
Yeah, and then the show came out in like 94, 95.
Yes.
97,
Oh my god.
actually. Apparently, a lot of people in Rotten Tomatoes like the damn thing. I don't know why. But
What? The show?
Christy Swanson.
the funny thing about Angel, the main character in Angel, the actor, played in Bones.
Yeah, he was Bones.
No, he's Bones is what's his name? Zoe Deschanel's sister. What's her freaking damn name? Emily.
I forgot Bones is a chick. I don't know. I know he was there though.
Yeah, he was the-
Angel.
he's-
Does he get turned into a vampire?
No, he's her partner. He's the FBI agent,
Yeah.
and she's like the forensic lady,
Oh my god, so bad.
and always have a gross skeleton in the beginning of the
So-
show.
Always.
which
Always.
is, which is
So
awesome.
we've all come to another agreement. We should end shows before they go too far.
Well, Bones is pretty good.
No, but I'm
I
saying,
haven't
like,
watched-
in
I haven't
general,
watched-
there's a lot of shows that
I haven't watched Bones. I heard that Lucifer show's pretty good. I haven't watched that yet.
Well, the Bones show basically, of course, Bones and the angel guy, I forget his stupid name. His character ended up getting married or whatever, and then it kind of like slowly faded away.
Yeah.
X-Files. X-Files was a really good show when it first came out.
Yeah, and then,
And then after 4 seasons, it got...
weird.
Yeah.
Because the movie, and then they had, we got to keep this going because it's popular.
Right.
Um,
I mean, it seems to happen with every...
Breaking Bad ended well
yeah,
Pretty
Breaking
good.
Bad was a good... yeah, I agree. It was
because
really- it was
they
a
had
good-
a plan to end it.
Yeah.
They didn't screw around.
Breaking
Yeah.
Bad was a great show. All the way through.
What is that one?
I kind of did like how at the end they left it up for like your interpretation if he's dead or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's good storytelling.
Oh, how was El Camino? Did anybody see that? It was a movie. It was a movie based off of the.
I don't think
It was supposed to be like a continuation with Jesse Pinkman.
No idea. Never saw it.
No,
Supernatural went on way too long. Supernatural started out really good, and then
I remember when he was trying to power his way through season 10 or whatever it was. And-
Supernatural.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then I was like, isn't this a thing? Isn't this like kind of like it kind of reminded me of Walking Dead. Because you know how Walking Dead, they had the group. They got together in the first season. Second season, they had the group for a little bit. And the third season, they broke apart Fourth season, they came back together. They break apart. They come back together. They break apart. Come back together. And then rinse and repeat. And then they have different factions that enter. And it's always some authoritarian government too. It's never like
except for in Supernatural, it's heaven and hell, and then
right.
Then
the one brother goes to hell, gets possessed, and then the other guy saves him, and then they do it.
But to save him, he has to condemn the world to another apocalypse, and then they switch. They keep switching because that's how the one season 6 when it was like at its like height. I was like, okay, this is really cool. It was the one guy got possessed by Lucifer. That's how you stop it because how it's predicted is one brother's gonna be possessed by Lucifer. The other brother is going to be inhabited by his brother Michael, and then they're going to fight, and that's how the apocalypse goes.
Right.
Then they disobey that. One gets locked in hell. Then the other brother gets him out of hell, but he doesn't have a soul, so then he has to do all this crazy stuff to get his soul back. And then
see, this is exactly why I never.
hell.
This is like I never watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, no Angel, none of that shit.
It just
as soon as I get flashbacks to the Angel and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, every time I see Supernatural,
and then just like
for the record, I like the actors who play the guys. I just can't.
No, the storyline got weird because what they would do is
like the first couple.
A major character died and it's gonna be over. Oh, he's too popular, so we got to find a contrived way to bring him back.
The first couple were pretty good because it was like monster hunting and they're finding themselves and all that stuff.
And like there was some really good like glimmers of like good storylines, but they just completely forgot about like the Mark of Cain. It was supposed to be like an evil curse thing that the
Mark of Cain. It would be on your forehead.
Yeah, but for this time it was just right there for reasons. I don't know.
Because the Mark of Cain is actually when Cain killed Abel, he was cast away.
Yeah.
And he was afraid that someone would kill him if they found him, so God marked him.
So
no one else could touch
him. But instead of being on the forehead, it was right here on his forearm.
Right.
And then the way it worked is Cain became a demon later on for his sins. And wandered the earth just killing the crap out of people.
Yeah.
And the curse kind of, like, because he fueled into that, it kind of drove him crazy. And that was a really good storyline, because then he gives the mark to one of the brothers. And then, for, like, 2 episodes out of 26, like, the brother's like, the marks makes me want to kill people. And then he completely forgets about it for, like, a whole season. And then he feels bad because he kills an entire family of people that are murderers.
Just popped up in my memories. You posted this and tagged me in it.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
It's true, though.
So, like, they kind of forget about the whole Mark of Cain thing for, like, a whole season. And then, literally, he kills, like, a family of murderers who were literally, like, the whole family were, like, corrupt killers. Except for, like, one member, but he killed him, too, because just in case. And he's like, I can't do this. It's so just super melodramatic. I feel so bad about killing murderers. I'm like, what?
Number one, the primary, to me, the part of the problem with the story, the show is that they go too far with the supernatural like hierarchy crap. Yeah. Because why is there angels and demons all the time? Why can't they branch out into other supernatural stuff like werewolves or vampires?
They do for like a hot minute, and then they go right back to angels and demons.
That's boring.
Yeah, I know.
Why can't we have like evil fairies trying to like kidnap children or whatever? There was a
season that started out called the Leviathan. Like the whole concept is God created Limbo to lock these crazy ass creatures that he accidentally created when he was experimenting with creating the world. He created these monsters and he locked them in Limbo, and then the Winchesters broke them out when they were trying to do whatever they were, defy God and demons or whatever. And then the whole season was about them dealing with these monsters because what they decided to do is turn humanity into cattle and just start killing crap out of people. That was an interesting season, but then they're like, oh, well, we're just going to find a contrived way to lock them back up and go back to ancient.
Oh, to be honest, my mind's wandering because they have a new Quantum Leap.
Oh, yeah.
Although
there's a new Quantum Leap?
Yeah, but I saw a trailer for the second season, and there's no restriction in the time frame. Because in the original one, he can only do within his lifetime.
Yeah.
Now it's like back to the 40s and the 17th century, and I'm like, but my primary question is, does he leap into women? Because I like that stuff in Quantum Leap where he's like cross-dressing and stuff. That was hilarious.
Oh, where he was like a woman all of a sudden? Because
right, they had him in like lipstick.
He showed up in the 30s as a large black woman. Quantum Leap was awesome. So was Columbo.
Yeah, he's really the Columbo.
I've been watching Columbo like
I don't know what Columbo
mother-
is.
He's a detective, right? And he's kind of like nondescript and rumpled, and he's like kind of
Goofy
squinty,
looking.
and he's kind of weird, like a little troll
Yeah.
guy.
But he's super smart.
But he's like, the whole thing is like you see what somebody murders, and then you find out how he figures it out, basically. And he always asks like really innocuous questions. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like this.
Yeah.
He's never violent or anything. He's just
yeah.
eventually
And he
gets
has, like,
everybody to talk to him.
Yeah. He has the world's most compliant serial murders ever. Like the one he goes, "That's how you did it, isn't it, sir?" He's like, "Yep, you caught me." And just goes like
Because like the whole show is like the killer and him standing next to each other having a conversation. There's
And
no
then
action.
he either gets the killer to confess themselves or he throws out enough evidence for it to stick.
Right.
Like the one was Dick Van Dyke, and it was a terrible.
Dick
episode.
Van Dyke?
Yeah, Dick Van Dyke was a jealous husband who killed his wife.
Oh, man. Okay.
And then what you find out is he's like, "Oh, well, I took the picture of the original and blew it up, and you can see here." He goes, "No, it's reversed because it's camera. Remember, everything's reversed on the camera." He goes, "Well, I accidentally destroyed the thing, so there's nothing we can do." He goes, "No, look," and he walks over to Evan's counter, picks up the camera that he used to take the picture in the first place, and goes, "See, here's the original." And he's like, "Oh, he turned himself in. He incriminated himself. This is gonna stick." Like, so dumb. Columbo is.
So he acts really stupid to get people to think that they're smarter than him, and then they just tell him things.
Right.
Yeah.
He acts like the bumbling detective who doesn't know shit
Right.
Yeah.
all the time.
And there is
like,
stuff-
and it seems like, and I always found it fascinating that none of these criminals know who he is. I'm like, he'd like,
his arrest record
he
too.
solved so many murders. I'm like,
Right.
wouldn't somebody no? Like I'm
fuck.
staying 100 miles away from this guy.
Right. I'm not even gonna blow my nose.
He
in
has
his
he has
vicinity.
mind control.
Right. It's a really good show. It was. Now I want to start watching Murder She Wrote too.
Murder,
That's
She
much
Wrote.
worse.
Yes, it is.
That's
So
much worse. It's more like it's like Father Dowling Mysteries. That was a terrible show too.
Yeah. So, Dan, did me and you watch anything specifically, or no, not really?
Not really.
Um,
I tried watching Ahsoka, but I can't do it anymore. Now that Hayden Christensen blew her away in that one episode, it was just terrible.
oh, that's the episode we watched where Hayden Christensen decided.
I thought it was a good episode.
it was a great.
No,
episode.
but I saw a comment. They're like, "This isn't Ahsoka's show anymore. It's Hayden Christensen's. Like it's Darth Vader's show now." Because he's way better. He's more interesting than she is.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the thing, and that's what I said.
And I also said that the girl who played the younger self was way better than her.
Yeah, she was hauling ass. She's like, boom, 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 boom.
No, I mean even the acting. She sounded like she cared more.
Yeah, like
Right.
yeah,
Rosario doesn't seem like she gives a shit.
Right.
yeah.
And I'm
And
like,
then-
she's getting paid.
And
I'm
then,
fine.
like, while we were watching the episode, I said, "Damn, Hayden Christensen still got it because he was whipping that freaking lightsaber around like a motherfucker."
He's really, yeah.
He was really into it. He's like, boom. She's like,
I did like in that episode how it kind of showed both sides to like the young Anakin, where he had the anger and then you could see like the contrasting.
yeah, where you start to see where he
Yeah.
starts slipping.
Right. Yeah.
Like it wasn't just wait when Palpatine showed up; it was already happening throughout all
Right.
the war shit.
so you can kind of see both sides. to
I
it.
like that episode. It's just that I wish she was better at the Jedi stuff. She's a Jedi who isn't good at the fighting part,
Right.
and it's kind of
And then when you bring back an actor who hasn't filmed a movie in how long, and he's still doing way better than her. But I can only imagine Christian.
he did it for like 2 years straight.
I know.
Yeah.
I was gonna
With
say,
Obi-
but he did.
He did it. No, it was more like 6 years
Yeah.
because it was 2
Yeah.
movies.
I mean, I'd imagine that's all natural to him now at this point.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you know what I mean?
And
Like,
plus, he just did Obi-Wan.
Yep.
yeah.
So obviously, even though Vader, all he does is this.
Yeah.
So, but
And
still,
or, you know,
Yeah, haymakers and force stuff.
haymakers and force chokes.
that's all he does.
It, just, it does really show though, you know what I mean? Like she's
yeah,
it's
I
more
get
of a
it.
paycheck for
Yeah.
her, where Hayden Christensen was into his role.
No, I think she's trying. I just think I'm not sure if she's
I just don't know if she has the actual
right dexterity or
coordination for
or
it.
the chops. She
Right.
got the
because
chops.
in the obviously it's originally an animated thing,
Right.
and Ahsoka Tano's style is really acrobatic, and it's almost impossible to do that unless you
Right.
have a good like a stunt double that's
Yeah.
and but she's in every shot. Her
Right.
face is in every shot, so it's
Right.
impossible to do a stunt double.
Right.
So it's not like a movie where you do a lot of wide shots and you can get away with it.
Yeah.
So I'm not criticizing her acting necessarily,
No,
although
she's
I
still-
think the director should probably go like I don't know, show some emotion once in a while.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I like that episode because it kind of went back and forth with his
Yeah.
dark side and his
Now the
light
only thing I wish
side.
they would have gave is like a small fight scene with him as Vader 2 on top of it. You know, where he like when he was like Robot Vader, because they fought there too
Right.
in her path. So I figured they might get into that where he has to fight her that way too.
I haven't seen the most recent one though, but
We haven't either.
We haven't either. That was the last one we watched.
Yeah, it's almost over though.
don't sound so happy about it.
I'm kind of getting Star Wars out because of how poor the last couple things have been with it.
Oh, Obi-Wan was alright.
The Obi-Wan was alright. Mandalorian season 1 was alright. Boba Fett was
But Boba Fett was
weird. Like we said, he shouldn't.
Mandalorian season 2 was good.
It was decent, yeah. Yeah.
I already told Kyle why I thought I've never seen the Boba Fett show and I don't want to because Boba Fett is
space mopeds.
look fat old Boba Fett.
The
He-
fastest walking race you'll ever see in your life.
Oh, so bad.
I look. I told Kyle the primary reason why I don't like the Boba Fett thing is because he aged 30 years after 5 years somehow, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And he gets out of Sarlacc and ages 20, 30 years.
I guess they attribute that to like the stomach acids.
It doesn't make any sense. He should be skinnier
Yeah.
if that's the case.
Not fatter, yeah.
Yeah, not
How
fatter.
how can you gain weight while being out in a desert like that?
Also,
What do the Tuscan the sand people just give them all their freaking bantha meat?
Yeah.
like,
That's what they do. Those big fat cattle things. They just ate a whole one every day. That's what happened.
I think they got too stuck on the original guy playing Boba Fett instead of
They should have got a guy who basically looks kind of like him,
right?
and then let him because like they had the right idea in the Solo movie. It's
Right.
just they chose a guy who was like half a foot shorter than him,
Yeah.
half a foot shorter than Harrison Ford.
Right.
Yeah.
A guy who was like my height playing hair like
Like kind of
Constant-
almost like it's close enough to be like that could be Harrison.
he
Ford.
looks like him kinda, but he's not tall enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford's a proper 6 foot something. At least when he's in his prime,
Yeah,
anyway.
like,
6'1" maybe.
And the thing is,
I'm exaggerating.
He
maybe.
does look tall. I don't know how tall he is. Hold on, here, let's look it up.
I'm assuming he's at least 5'10"
Harrison
or
Ford.
11, maybe.
Like, oh,
I bet he's probably 6 foot.
you think he's like 6'2". But yeah, like they should like I'm glad because that guy is a good actor. He's a good actor.
6'1".
Yeah.
He's a good actor, but like you said, he was way too old to be
Yeah, like I think they got too stuck on the whole trying to keep
the Clone
original,
Wars thing.
keep the original Boba Fett, and like you said, they should have got someone.
Who look vaguely
Well,
like
here's,
him.
the, here's the thing. What's even funnier is he never actually played Boba Fett. He played Django, and then
But Boba's supposed to be a clone.
but he's supposed to be a slightly different clone. He's supposed to be
No, he's supposed to be a clone. He's a literal clone. They just didn't have the age acceleration thing.
Yeah.
Because they accelerate their age so they can go out and fight faster.
Right.
So in the later like Rebels show, some of the clones they got old really fast
Yeah.
because they weren't supposed to live very long anyway. So they had like it was like during the Rebel era, it was only like 10 years after the Clone Wars, they were like looked like in their 50s or 60s or whatever.
Yep. And then
So they had really gray-haired ones. and
there was
stuff.
really good ones in Rebels where the ones all defective and weird looking because he was like he was a part of the Bad Batch, so he had like a giant hump and he's like, but he's still like a tactical genius. So
So basically, Boba's just basically a clone of him, but not
Okay.
nothing unaltered.
yeah,
They said that in Attack of the Clones. So
yeah, but you know, like I said, we could have figured something out. Get someone.
Yeah. Right. You still could have figured it
yeah,
out.
because the kid doesn't even.
The guy who played Jack.
Because I can 100% guarantee you that kid doesn't look like whoever played him as a kid either.
Right.
So they could have just got somebody else.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Some slightly brown guy.
Slightly brown guy.
Well, he is. He is slightly...
Just pick a Hawaiian or a Maori.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Pick an islander.
Yeah.
One of the Pacific Islanders.
He's supposed to be what? In his 30s, maybe 40s at best?
About 30 something, yeah.
Yeah. So...
He'd be, like, the way I would say is maybe 40 when, like, after the Sarlacc stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, the beginning of Mandalorian.
Right.
So he should be, like, a little bit past his prime, but not, you know.
Not dumpy old
He'd
guy.
just be really freaking burnt to hell. And have no hair.
Oh, he definitely didn't have any hair.
No, he didn't.
Well, maybe he should have hair. I don't know. He had his helmet on. He had his helmet on.
He didn't have... I say he went in with his helmet and stuff on, so...
And they should have just stuck with the freak... Because this is my one thing. Because they had a bunch of stuff after the original Star Wars where they wrote a bunch of stuff. They should have just did what he did in the extended universe. He blew his way out with freaking explosives. And then, like, got rescued by somebody. Because that's basically what they used anyway. But in the regular... in the extended universe stuff, it was another, like, bounty hunter. So he got back in the action a lot faster.
Yeah, instead of being raised by Tusken Raiders.
Raised by nursed back to health.
And then join their clan.
Well,
that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Well, he
With
was
his
a slave.
with his sweet stick.
He was a slave at first.
Yeah, I know, but it was still funny. With his sweet stick skills.
Look,
somehow beating a freaking Wookiee in hand-to-hand combat.
That doesn't make any damn sense.
That Wookiee should have been whooping his ass.
Was it the freaking evil Wookiee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no way he beat him.
Yeah.
Chewbacca barely beats that guy.
Yeah, barely. And Chewbacca had to use, like, you know, what's that over there? And then punch him in the dick kind of tactics. Like,
yeah.
Because in a straight up fight, that guy was whooping Chewbacca's ass. Oh my god.
Because he's the evilest Wookiee ever.
Right?
I gotta make him like black. He's like a black Wookiee. He's a black Wookiee.
Well, no, they don't have a race. It's just he has different fur.
That's what I mean.
No, like he's the color black.
He's the color black.
Not like he's.
I thought you meant like a racial thing.
Not a racial. Not like
no
dog.
Romy. No, they literally make him. They literally make his fur. They literally make his fur black. Almost every other Wookiee you see is brown.
But that's the funny thing about
Star
Wars.
They don't have hardly.
Evil is literally defined by
number one. They don't show hardly.
Right.
They don't show hardly any Wookiees, except in the one.
Well, I was gonna say in the one they show a shitload of them.
Yeah, but there was a dark brown one in there.
Yeah, but still brown.
This ain't dark brown. This motherfucker is black.
He's midnight black. With some hints of gray somewhere.
Well, I'm thinking of the comic book. He's not
yeah,
usually...
he's got like the gray beard kind of looking thing, yeah.
In the comic book, he's not nearly black, that dark, though, for some reason. I don't know.
My god.
But anyway.
Comic book is probably more accurate, but you know.
Yeah. Well, that's what... Where did you see the Chewbacca in his fight? Is that the comic book thing? Or
yeah, that was comic book extended universe stuff.
Yeah, because they had a gladiatorial thing that they fought into because Chewie had to fight him because... Otherwise, he'd kill some other people or whatever.
Yeah.
It was on Tatooine, I think. I believe, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
I thought it was like a hut thing. I don't know. Whatever. Yep.
So.
Anything we next Friday?
Next Friday,
next Friday we're watching
Exorcist.
What, the double-headed exorcist monster?
Yeah.
Yep.
One happens to be black.
Yep.
This time.
Yep.
And I'm not talking about the fur this time.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
isn't one of the mothers a black lady?
Yeah.
In the trailer, I saw the trailer.
Yes.
No,
it's
the
two
dad.
different girls. They were best friends.
I don't know if it ever shows the mom.
Yeah,
it shows her dad.
It shows black lady there.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, but it's all like because they were doing a lot of real. Quick
I know
cuts.
it shows her dad a lot.
Yeah. So like it's their best friends that went out to the woods and all of a sudden they got possessed.
They get lost for 3 days. They think they're only going for like 6 hours and.
Kind of like how Castle Rock was. I'm only gone for a little bit when you find out he was actually gone for years.
All right.
So it was what, like he fell down a fairy hole?
It's kind of more or less what happened in Castle Rock, and that's probably what happened here, except for it's a Satan hole instead of a fairy hole.
It's a Satan hole.
Right in the old Satan hole.
I'm excited that they brought back some of the originals
Yes, I thought that was cool.
What's her name?
Speaking of which, we do have.
Linda Blair played the original girl.
No, I'm talking about the old lady. Because she was in,
yeah, I'm getting-
what was it, Requiem for a Dream? She played the mother. Where she was really...
Also,
she was
we gotta hit our Spooky Spectacular. It's coming up.
Our Spooky Spectacular is coming up.
So we gotta figure out what we want to do for that. So that's gonna be a team meeting over pancakes.
Ooh, you're talking about Ellen Burstyn.
Yeah.
So we'll have to figure out something to do with that. Incidentally, I'm gonna have to change the.
Every time you say it, I think of South Park, where they go into Spooky Vision.
Yeah.
Where the remember the
Yeah.
the pets are killing
They have
everybody.
Barbara Streisand
And it's
everywhere.
Damn, Ellen Burstyn's old.
How old?
She's 90.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah. I just saw something with Mel Brooks in it too recently.
Mel Brooks?
He still does acting.
That motherfucker's still kicking?
He's like 96. And he's
We were just talking about Mel Brooks at work. What's your favorite Mel Brooks movie? Blazing Saddles? Is that it?
I have two, and they hit back and forth depending on my mood. Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein's hilarious. Young Frankenstein's hilarious.
What Dockers? Oh, thank you.
Dracula Dead and Loving It. I love that movie.
Yep.
Blazing Saddles.
History of the World Part 1.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a pretty good one.
So
Kind of petered out at the end, but... Although I do like the piss boy part.
Yeah.
Or he goes, what's it? Hump die, hump die, hump die.
Yeah.
great. So I think we're gonna call that a show here. Have a good night.
See ya.
Bye.